Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Apa?
wabarakatuh, sir.
Okay. Apa khabar kita semua? Sehat? How are you? Anybody here, in
Recovering,
our
sir.
class that are affected by the flooding, by the banjir? In Pahang, Johor, Kelantan. I think the worst is Pahang and Johor. Anybody here affected by the flooding?
I'm from Pahang, sir,
Uh,
but not affected in terms of we are cut off a bit from the city.
but not affected by the flooding.
And affected in terms of trying to get necessities and all of that, lah.
Tapi
Not so
rumah
much
tak
in
ada
terms
naik
of our
air lah.
house. No, not really.
Rumah tak bawah lah.
No.
Okay. I actually, the rain is only for, I think, 1 day and 1 night. It's not that heavy. Because on Saturday, I went to Uludong. I went to Uludong. It was just raining. And then on Sunday, in the evening, it start to flood. Kampung saya nasib tak kena. Tapi okay lah. Tapi teruk lah, I think the problem with our environment in Pahang, especially, hutan dah habis lah. Hutan kena tebang semua.
Negative consumption externality, sir.
So I think that's why there is no less retaining of rainwater in the soil. It go direct to the river. So 1 day of rain, like this. If it is 1 week of rain, teruk lah kita. Okay, apa tadi? Siapa? Fikri, what you say?
My friend in Johor said that it was raining for 2 straight days.
I think Johor lagi teruk lah, 2 straight days. But in Pahang, it was only 1 day,
No, sir. I think in my area around Kuantan also it was raining since Thursday last week until Sunday. So that's around 3 days.
Bentong, kampung saya, 1 day je, Saturday, Sunday. But of course, continue to Sunday, continue to Monday. But it was like rain.
Bentong was better, but Kuantan got it worse.
Nasib baik saya balik Kuala Lumpur hari Ahad. Tak boleh balik lah, tak boleh buat kelas. Okay, now what I'm saying is this. Anybody who are affected by the flooding and, have limited access to internet, limited time to review your studies, you should ask the department, apply from the kuliah to get what you call delay of the final exam, so that you can take the exam later. This is normal, if you have emergency, like one of our students in my other class, she has COVID-19, now under quarantine. So, she could take the exam later because right now, she is under quarantine, she cannot take the test. So if any one of you or your friend in this class affected by the flooding, that limited or that constrain your mobility, your access to study, probably you can apply, okay? Apply to get postponement of the final exam. So just apply to the kuliah, the Deputy Dean office. Okay, all right. So that is my announcement. Okay, so what I will do today, I'm going to finish up the chapter on the comprehensive income. And then we are going to look at the Malaysian situation, okay, Malaysian case, or the real income tax system, not just in Malaysia, in other countries as well. And there are, deviation from the Hague-Simon measure. Why deviation? Because even though, the Hague-Simon income is very comprehensive, but for some reasons, it is, or it generates problem. Okay, one in terms of measurement. You know, some of the income that that are included, you know, it's problem of measurement, and some of them is not real. Okay, so we are going to look at a few. Okay, a few components that is or that are commonly deviated or not included in the real comprehensive income. So that is our plan for today. And we're going to look at more on Malaysia. Okay, Malaysia, because in the book, they look at US. So rather than looking at US, we look at our own country. So that is the plan for today. Now let's continue from here. So comprehensive income. Oh, yeah, this was the PowerPoint that I was looking at. Okay, like I said earlier, H-Simon is the most comprehensive, most comprehensive measure of income. It's an ideal measure and used as benchmark for real life income. Real life. Should we conclude, okay, this kind of income, or should we not? So I'm going to look at a few examples, okay, of this. All right, number one. Okay, this is, we go to the detail of it, right? Okay, number one, externality.
Sir,
We cannot see your.
so we
Your
cannot
slide.
see the slide.
Ya ke?
It's
We
just
cannot see
blue.
your
Kalau
screen.
sekejap, saya pergi balik. I think I terkeluar daripada Google, daripada Zoom.
Yeah, just now
Nak pergi balik,
you left.
tak ada pula dah. Sekejap
Okay.
Mana pergi? Ni ada. So, I have to share again. Boleh? Can you see
Yeah,
now?
now can see already. Yes.
Boleh nampak?
Boleh lah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, alright. Tadi dia terkeluar, saya tak faham kenapa. Okay, so first, some of our expenditure, you know, create externality or public good property. For example, charity. You know, some people give charity. Either you give charity due to your religion, or just give charity due to our social consciousness. And these activities generate external positive benefit. That means generate positive externality. So in that sense, is it fair to include all this contribution, you know, charities, into income that is going to be taxed? So this is one. Okay. So one of the things that in real life we do not include as income, or we deduct from the income, is our expenditure for charity. So if you spend some of your income on charity, let's say you give 1,000 ringgit to the recognized institution. Let's say you give 1,000 ringgit to Sultan Ahmad Shah Mosque, you know, in UAE. Probably that institution is recognized. So that 1,000 will not be taxed. That 1,000 from your income which you spend on that charity will not be taxed. Another example is your charity to a hospital, you know. So let's say you donate to hospital, let's say Hospital Sungai Buloh, due to the COVID-19, you give 50,000. So that will be, or that income that you spend for that charity will not be included as income. So this spending, okay, will not be included as your tax, right? So that's one. So the spending that generate positive externalities, regardless of what spending. Normally, normally charity lah, most common even in our country, your charity spending will not be included as income or will be deducted from the income that you pay tax. All right. Okay. Number two. Sometimes you have shocks to your income. Shock to your income meaning in a certain period, in a certain year, your income is given a shock. Shock means there is sudden change. Like people get electrical shock, so it's sudden pain. Okay, so here sudden change to your income due to unexpected reason. For example, right now you have flood in Kuala Lumpur, so that is a shock to your income. So due to the flooding, you have to maybe spend some amount of money to recover your house, so things like that. And most common example is our medical expenses. Sometimes, during a year, we suffer certain illness, so you have to spend quite significant amount of your income on that medical expenses. Okay, like I said earlier, due to the flooding, there is a property loss that you need to spend, significant amount of money of your income to recover the losses. All right. So this shock, okay, this shock to income due to unexpected reason may not be considered as income in real system, or you can think of it as this expenditure can be deducted from your comprehensive income, because this is something that you spend due to emergency. Okay, so that's number two. Number one, number two. Okay, number three. Okay, number three is the cost to acquire the income. Now, if you look at business, okay, business, the tax is on profit. So they have to consider, the cost of doing the business. So similarly for individual, there is a cost to acquire the income. And that cost is what? Is commuting costs, childcare expenses, petrol expenses, your food expenses during journeys to the work or during your work time. So there are costs of acquiring the income. So that cost, should it be taxed? All right, should it be taxed? So in real life, we don't. Okay, we give some deduction. Okay, deduction on this kind of expenses. So the cost of acquiring income, we normally take out from the comprehensive income. Okay, now that's number what? Number four. Okay. Now number three. Okay, mana lagi? Oh, tak ada dah kat sini. Okay, there are a few more. Okay, I look at another one. Mana dia? Mungkin kat sini. Salah. Boleh baca perlahan tak? Pergi baca kat luar boleh tak? Untuk ada kerja. Boleh baca tak boleh? Okay, externality kita dah fikir buat. Okay, public good dah sudah. Oh, tak ada, tak apa. Tak ada, I will list down to you. So there are a few more. Okay, a few more. I will list down. Okay, next is the the home production. All right. So next is home production. Now, if you let's say you take time out, all right, to do the painting of your house, okay, that means you self done, okay, do it yourself. So that is not counted as income. Okay, not counted as income because it's a problem to measure. And since you do it for yourself, for your own benefit, it shouldn't be counted as income. All right. So home production, let's say you self repair your house. Okay. So that means that is not counted as income. Or your mother working at home, you know, that means the father has to pay salary. So that is not considered income. So home production, not considered as income. Okay. Next, the imputed rent. Okay, imputed rent, that means if you stay in your own house, you are paying yourself rent. So that is considered income. Now, in reality, it is not considered income. All right, not considered. Because even though, you know, you look at the Sheikh-Simon income, it's improved. It improved the vertical equity, horizontal equity. But at the same time, you know, you can argue also by taking out this imputed rent, it may improve some justice. You know, is it fair? You buy your own house, you stay in your own house, and then you have to pay rent to yourself, and then that's considered income. So is it fair? So it is not fair as well, correct? So imputed rent is taken out. Then there are some in-kind income, but most in-kind income, you know, will be included. But the question is the question of measurement. Okay, question of measurement. That means the government must be able to measure accurately, lah. But in reality, okay, in kind, most of them, as we see, it is included in the comprehensive income. Okay. Next would be imputed rent. Yeah, unrealized capital gain. Now, in real system, unrealized capital gain is not included as your income because it is not monetized, okay? It's not real. It is not presented in money. It's not monetized. It's only on paper, okay? If it is only on paper, even though you have 1 million today, capital gain, so it is not counted, all right? Because because it is just on paper, and that can change suddenly. So unrealized capital gain is not included, only realized is included. All right, we only consider the realized. Okay, what else? Our expenditure, the shop, I already put in unrealized, home production, imputed rent. Okay, and all right. So I think these are, okay, these are some of the categories of income, either in terms of spending or either in terms of source of income that will not be included as income in the real system. All right. So this is what we call deviation from the comprehensive income. Now, once we do this, all right, you have the comprehensive income from as many sources as possible. Differentiate the Sheikh-Simon income and the real income tax system, you know. So then we are going to have what you call the taxable income. So after you get all the income from all these sources, So in Malaysia, okay, in Malaysia, because this one we don't consider, in Peteran we don't consider, in kind we do, all right? We will get some measurement estimates, and then unrealized we don't consider. So in Malaysia, these are the few things that we don't consider. And in terms of expenditure, like I mentioned earlier, okay, the things that I mentioned earlier, those will not be considered as income. In other words, the expenditure, they will deduct, okay? They will deduct from the comprehensive income. So what we normally do, okay, the government, in order for us to come up with the tax, all right? So number one, you compute the comprehensive income. Comprehensive income. All right. So this is from all sources. Either from the Higgs-Simon or, like I said earlier, from the real system. All right. Okay, real system, of course, some of the measurement are not, some of the categories are not included. Then number two, we look at the expenses. Okay. Now, some of the expenses, like I said earlier, you will deduct, because that is expenses. Deduct from number one. Okay. So expenses in Higgs-Simon income, there is no expenses. Whatever, doesn't matter what you spend on, all right, there will be income. That also income, so there will be tax. In reality, you will consider this, all right, the expenses. So the categories of expenses is like what we discussed earlier. The externality spending, you know, and then the shock to income spending, and then the cost of acquiring income, and then expenses. We also have expenses to family, okay, and depending on the system itself, there will be, you know, some others, etc. So that may differ from one system to another, right? So Higgs-Simon, we stop here. So that will be the one that is going to be taxed. Now, in real life, in real system, there are expenses that you deduct, and there are types of income that is not considered as income. Okay, so if you look at expenses, that means we are going to do the deduction. So when you take 1 minus 2, so 3, 1 minus 2, okay, so what you get will be the taxable income. So the taxable income is the one that is going to be taxed. So this is the difference, okay? Given the expenses that we don't count as income or we deduct from income, so the taxable income under the real system is the one that is going to be taxed on, right? So this is the tax base. And under the Higgs-Simon income, this is the one that is going to be the base. Okay, the base is the, you know, what is a base? Base is the item or activity that is taxed. So it can be price tax, can be income tax. So the item or the activity that you tax, that is called the base. Okay. Okay. So that's the difference. Now, having said that, if we go back to the computation of the income, okay, so this is what we do. Okay, so the consumption or the expenditure, some of them that we discussed earlier, we call them what? We call them deduction, exemption, rebate. basically all these things that will be deducted from our gross income. And then you have the types of income: unrealized capital gain, implicit income like the home production, and then some in-kind, they are not included. But for Malaysia, most of the in-kind are included. So suppose we do that. So number one, you have the gross income. So that will be the comprehensive income. Okay, gross income is the comprehensive income, included everything. Okay, include everything, every source, and then we do the deduction. So they call different names. In Malaysia, we make it simple, just deduct. Okay, just deduct, and some of them refund zakat. Zakat will be refunded, but everything means deduction. So you call exemption, you call standard deduction, you call itemized deduction. It's just a name, okay? But all these are called deductions. Deduction from your income. If you want to know what is the standard deduction, what is the itemized deduction, you read, okay? You read the book. But these are called just deduction, which come from our discussion earlier. So if you look at the computation of the income tax, first you got the gross income, okay? So you minus deduction, so that is some spending or some type of income that is not counted. And then you minus exemption, that is also deduction, okay? And then you have the itemized deduction. So all these three categories are deduction. So our taxable income is 60,000, which is the gross comprehensive income, minus 1, 2, 3, all these three. So you get 29,500. So that 29,500 would be your tax base. All right. Now, how much do you pay tax? That will be given a schedule. Okay, a schedule. Now, when you consider income, the tax, okay, the tax on income is not a fixed rate. Currently, it's not a fixed rate. It's what you call progressive. You know, it's changing. It's variable rate. There are intervals, which you call here. Okay, these are the income interval, and here is the rate. All right. So if you look at this is Malaysia. Okay, Malaysia in many years ago, 2002. Afterwards, we look at the more recent one. So if you look at this bracket, this is called income bracket or income interval. Up to 2,500, no income, or no income tax. Okay, zero rate. 2,500 to 5,000, 1%, and then so on. So if you do that, that means you have to compute the income tax. It's not as simple as like you pay the price tax. All right. You have different interval, and that different interval will be taxed differently. So to make it short, all right, the interval, we just do the interval, we simplify the interval. So I look at the intervals or income bracket. Sometimes they call it bracket. I think the term they call brackets, income bracket. So we just do this. Less than 2,500. This is the rates, all right, in percent, so 0%. From 2,500 to 5,000, all right, the tax will be 1%. And then from 5,000 to 20,000, how much is the rate? 3%. So if you do this, senang sikit cerita, all right? You make the interval into some continuous interval. So I go back because I don't want to finish it up. I go back here, you finish it up. All right. So I already cut 5,000 to 20,000, 3%. So what you do next interval, 20,000, 35. Okay. And then 35 to 50, 13. 50 to 70, 19. 70 to 100, all this. Okay. So 1 minute. Can you write down all this? Just put in interval like what I did. So you do interval like this. Okay, 5,000 to 20,000. Like that. So you don't have to write less than, bigger than, whatever, all this. Kita buat interval macam tu. Okay. So these are the rates. Now the reason I show you this, I want to show you the change, all right? Because this rate change not regularly, but over time there will be change depending on the government. Okay, if the government think that we have more income, you want to collect more, they raise the tax rates. If the government think that it's unfair to certain group of people, they will reduce certain rate. So the rate may change. Or if they think that our income is growing, especially the higher income group, so they will make the higher income group pay higher taxes. That means the rate for the upper group will be increased. All right. Okay. Now, are you done here? So 70,000, 100,000,
Not yet.
100,000 to 2,500,000 will be 27, and so on. Finish. Okay.
Not yet, not yet.
Like I was doing. All right. So I'm going to show you the current rates. Now, this is the current rate. I think this one is the latest. I think this one is last year, 2019. I do not know whether there is a change or no change. But if you look at this table here, right, don't worry about the column number 2 and column number 4. Don't worry about that. We just look at the bracket, okay? And then you look at the rates. All right. So you already have the rates that you just wrote down. You look at the intervals here and look at the rates. Okay, so can you see any difference in the interval? We go to the interval first.
The interval is bigger.
The interval now, in terms of the range of income, okay, becomes larger. The highest interval is what? 1 million ringgit income. Okay. If you look at the one is 2002, of course, 20 years ago, the highest bracket is more than 2,500. 2,000, no, I'm sorry, 250,000. Okay, but here they break out into more brackets. From 2,500, they will break it out into additional 3 more brackets. So the highest bracket is 1 million. Okay. Now you look at the rates. Yeah, you're right. The brackets becomes larger. Okay. So if you look at 5,000, formerly it was like 2,500 to 5,000. Now we just have one bracket, 5,000 to 20,000. All right. And then the one that has zero rate is 0 to 5,000. So you'll see some changes. Okay. And then if you look at the rates here, okay, can you see the rate? How do they change? They change, all right? So you see here 1, 5, 10, 16, and then going up to 28. But the maximum is still 28. I was, I think what the government can do, probably they can raise the rate for these people here. You know, the one that is more than 1 million and higher than 600,000, increase it higher.
So why is the maximum rate is still 28%?
Maximum. Don't use maximum 28. Increase to 30 and 35 like that. Because the more income you have, the more you have to pay. Okay. All right. But this is the new rate. So the reason I show you this, because the rate's changing. So if you look at in between, in between, let's say 2010, maybe there is a change already from the one that we looked at earlier. Okay. All right. So based on the rates and the intervals, we compute the tax income, the income tax. All right. So let's now do that. Okay. So first I will show you. Okay, I think this one I already have discussed. All right. Apa pula? 21. Okay, this is the Malaysian income tax. Basis is the Income Tax Act 1967. I think probably there was already another act before that, but probably this is just a new act. Okay, so this is the law that give authority or give power to the government to collect income tax. Okay, so this is the act. So we don't have to know the act, right? It's just this a statement of power for the government to impose and collect tax. Okay, now these are the standard deductions. So if you look at our country, this personal, personal deduction is what you can call it as the cost of acquiring the income. You know, the cost of petrol, the cost of time, to go for cost of food during your job. So probably this. And we are more, we are more, what you call it, compassionate, more family oriented. So there is deduction for if you are married, your wife or your husband, and then the children, okay? And then for disabled, there is some deduction as well. So these are all family oriented, okay? It's not discussed earlier, but this is what is being done in our country and even many other countries as well. And then you have all this, okay? This is the expenses, all right? The medical expenses. This is still about the family, So you have all this exemption, okay? If you spend to buy equipment for disabled individual or wife or parent, you get exemption of tax on that expenditure 5,000. And then you buy insurance premium, ada lagi deduction. So many deduction, okay? And then, okay, this is the one that is related to the charity work. This is the charity, okay? You do or you contribute to institution of higher learning or library. Now include hospital as well. And then education. So as you know, education is a positive externality. So the money you spend education for your family, some of the expenses will be deducted or be exempted from income tax. And this is medical expenses. So this may be like the shock, okay? The medical the shock to your income due to health reason. So you have all this health, and then there is another charity for the hospital, and this is also a charity, okay, for museum. So there are many things that we take out from your income. All right, donation again here, and then you pay zakat. There will be deducted also from your income. They call it rebate. Okay. All right. Okay. So that is reality. Now, if you look at the Malaysian income tax, the form is quite simple. But of course, the calculation may not be that simple. If you look at our country, this is the form of income tax, individual income tax. So you have your name, you have all the date of birth, everything, your basic information. Now, if you look at the part B here, all right, the part B1, B2, B3 is your comprehensive income. They call it aggregate income. So gross income, sometimes gross income. And then all this are from your sources, okay, different sources, all right? And then the total B1, B2, B3, that comes your gross income, or they call it aggregate income. And then you deduct spending on the donation, gift, contribution, so deduct that. And then transfer from husband and wife, joint investment, don't worry about that, we deduct. So you got this. And then you will have the total relief. Okay, total relief. Now, total relief, there is another form, lah. Okay, that is anything that I showed you earlier, anything applicable. Your children, medical expenses, education expenses, apa benda lagi? Charity work, you know, the exemption for yourself, for yourself and for your family. So all this are called relief. All right. So you take out the deduction, or here we call relief, then we get the chargeable income. So that chargeable income is our taxable income. We call it chargeable income. Okay, the common word is taxable income. And then we compute the income tax, how much tax we have to pay. Okay, so this income tax that you have to pay will be based on the table. Okay, based on the table that I just show you the table. Okay, so different bracket will be applicable to different rates. So that would be our tax payable to the government. And after that, there will be some deduction, not deduction, rebate. Okay, this rebate sometimes zakat. Okay, zakat rebate, and then tax payable atau ada lagi lah. So don't worry about that. After the tax rebate, so you pay the tax, how much tax that you have to pay based on your taxable income. Okay, so this is the individual income tax. And as you see, we try to measure income, you know, from most of the sources. At the same time, we will do some deduction, you know, for the spending or the types of income that is not included as income. So this is the detail, okay? This is the detail. You see here the donation, the gift, and then education, medical, okay, and then childcare. So basically donation, medical, and some family deduction, education, and other family expenses. So that would be the relief. So the total relief would be all this item here. So that's where you got the F19, okay? F19, the total relief that you deduct from the gross income. All right. So now don't worry about understanding all these things. What we need to know is only this, the general idea. The comprehensive income, all right? And then the deduction. And then you got the taxable income. And then you compute the income tax. That's it, all right? So the detail, we don't have to know, okay? You don't have to remember anything because the detail we are not going to do because it's a lot of things. We just look at the basic, all right? Just look at the basic. So the basic is the difference between the the difference between the Hicks-Hyman income and the real income tax system. And then we compute the income tax. Okay, any question? Anything? All right. So that, okay, let me see. Is there anything else that I want to cover? Okay, itu je. All right. So now, what I will do, we will look at an example. All right, an example of income. I want to find it. Example of income, and then we will compute the Hicks-Hyman income. And then we are going to compute the then we to compute the tax payment. Okay, tidak terjadi. Tengok ini. Okay, so here, all right, I want you to do this. Okay, I want you to do this. You take out a piece of paper, standard size paper. I want you to write down your name, your metric number. So now we answer the questions. Okay, you answer the question. So I want you to do this as a homework. And just like the bonus homework, after this, you will send to me through Classroom. Okay, so I want you to do it now. Okay, do you understand what I say? Can you hear me? Huh? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Semuanya okay. Diam je. Ingat ke tak ada tau. Okay, so do it now. Okay, I want you to do it first because afterward I will go through with you. All right? I want you to write now, to write the types of income that is considered as Hick-Simon income. After you finish part A, we will do it together. So don't worry whether you got it wrong or you got it right. Afterward, I will go through it. And if you got it wrong, don't make the correction. I mean, don't erase it. Just do the correction beside it.
Macam ni.
Okay, as of my record, there are 44 people here. So I should receive 44 or less, all right? Not more than 44. So submission is either 44 or less than 44. So you just answer part A first, okay? Now, when you finish, you let me know. I will go through the part A. Okay. I already put the assignment, okay, in the classroom. So you submit like what we were doing, lah. Okay, submit in the classroom. Okay, finished? Done. Anybody who has finished? Anybody who has not finished? Hello, hello. Dah siap belum? Kita, you just do part A first. Okay, A, have you finished or not?
Sir. Sir?
Yeah.
Is it just part A?
No, you do part A first, I discuss, and then we do the next part.
Okay, just part A. Just part A first lah.
If you're fast enough, then you can do the next part lah. But I will discuss part by part. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. Mana itu dia?
The word file, sir.
Apa dia?
The word file.
Sudah. Saya benda ni hilang tadi. Dah. Okay. I have in the, when I started this, I have 44 students. Now I have 46. So that student, 2 students who just come, you don't have to submit. Okay. The student who just came in, you don't have to submit. You just do this, but you don't submit.
Sir, we need to
Yeah.
submit now or after we finish all the
No.
questions?
You submit lah. Nanti I told you to submit.
Okay, thank you,
Okay,
sir.
don't submit now. Okay. I'm telling the 2 students who just came in. All right. After I ask you to do the question, they come in. So those people, 2 students, you do, but you don't have to submit. Those 2 people. Okay. So, I want to tengok dulu. Okay. Are you done with the question, with the answering? Part A. Most people. I'm not asking everybody. I mean most people. Are you done with part A?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, if you look at that question, we want to find the income as per Simon definition. So that will include, okay, that will include all sources of income. Either the home production, imputed rent, all these things, all the benefit. So let us just list down. Okay, you look at the sources of income, you list down those and see whether are they included in the Simon income. All right. So number 1, just go from the top. Okay. You have the salary. Okay, salary is very clear. It's just income from your labor. So number 1, salary. How much is the salary? 4,700 a month. Now we are talking about 1 year. Okay. So here is the total income. All right, total income is per year. Okay. So when you pay tax based per year, so you have to multiply by 12. So what you got will be 40,000, 4,700 multiplied by 12. That is equal to some income. So now
56,400.
you have to show, all right? Don't just do it for 4,700 and then boom. So now you have to show that it is over a year. So you give the number here, all right? So berapa number dia? Anybody who has done it?
56,400.
56,400.
56,000?
56.
56,400.
400. Yes.
sir.
56000. Okay, that's
400.
number 2.
So it's 400.
Oh, 400. Sorry. 400. Actually saya dah buat dah dulu tapi dah hilang. Tak tahu mana saya letak. Okay. Now that's number 1. Okay. Number 2. He bought some Axiata shares, you know, at 3,000 at R3.90 last year. So over the year, the price has gone up. Okay. From 380 to 4.11. Okay. So here, is it considered as income? He kept the shares throughout the year. That means he didn't sell. He didn't sell the shares. So is that considered income? And what type of income will that be?
It's unrealized capital gain.
So here you have unrealized. Okay, unrealized capital gain or capital income from shares. Okay, because you may have another capital gain. Okay, another capital gain, maybe from the house. So shares. So Axiata shares. So it's what? It's the net. It's the net gain. Okay, the net gain meaning the price change. So the new price minus the cost of you. Okay, how much you bought it, and then you consider the new price. If there is a gain, or sometimes the price has gone down, so you have a loss. Okay, so here there is a gain, and that gain per share. Okay, gain per share is how much? You have to subtract the new price
With the previous price.
with the price that you bought it. Okay.
R3.80.
You bought it at 390. Okay.
So is it 38 or 39?
3.8, sir.
380 is the price that was at the beginning of the year. Okay. And then the price gone up to 411. So the gain, all right, the gain is what? The gain is the cost to you. Okay, the price that you purchase it is 390, not 380. That means during that year, okay, during that year. If you bought it earlier, okay, if you bought earlier, then, okay, then you have to compute the gain for that year. But now, we already simplify it. We make it for that year, all right? So now, you may think of it as 380 because 380 is the price at the beginning of the year. That makes sense also, you know? Because the gain over that year, you know? Boleh tak 380? The gain over the year. But I'm inclined to look at it as your cost price, you know? Because that is the
Sir, can
gain,
we
okay?
look
the
back
gain
at the
over
question?
that period of time, that year. So the gain.
Sir,
Yeah.
can we look back at the question? Because I thought it's just 39, there's no 38. Sorry.
Oh, actually, there is 38.
He bought it at 3.8, if I'm not mistaken.
He bought it at
Uh,
3.9.
we bought it at
39.
390. Okay.
So
But
we
we bought it
use
390 in October 2016. So the price increased. So now to make our life simple, all right. So if you just take the difference for 11, 380. Okay. So that's now. Okay. But I think, okay, if you use 390, that also makes sense because that is your cost price. Okay, your cost price. But having said that, 390 October, but that already been taken care of in December 2016. Okay, in December 2016, you already filed for income tax on 2016. So that is the cost price. That has already been taken care of. Oh, yeah, okay. So we use 380, okay, because it's on the year 2017. So you're right. So we use 380, not 390. Okay, 390 is last year. You already taken care of that. All right. So you minus 411, 380, that will be equal to what percent?
31 cents.
31 cents.
So you keep on everything. Is that right? You keep the shares. So in other words, there is unrealized gain. So 5,000 multiplied by 0.31, you get the value. Okay. Okay. That's number
sir.
2.
So it's
So it's
5,000.
5,000.
5,500.
5,500. Okay. I missed that 500. Okay. All right. So that's number 2. We're done with 2. Okay. So now number 3, he was given a housing benefit. The house provided by the employer, the estimated rental value is 1,500 a month. So that is in kind. All right. That's in kind benefit. Estimated rental value 1,500. So that is included as income. So you put in there in kind income. Okay. In kind income 1,500 multiplied by 12. Income housing benefit. Okay. 1,500 multiplied by 12. What do you get? You get a number.
18,000.
Put 18,000. Okay. Another in-kind income, health benefit, 400 a month. So 400 multiplied by 12, you get 4,800 per year. So that is another income. Okay. All right. Now he bought apartment, this one, and then that apartment was not occupied. And then the market rental is 1,200 per month. So that is it considered as income? You buy the apartment, all right, but you don't stay in there. It's not rented yet. So is it considered as income?
Unrealized.
It's imputed rent, right?
You know, because you are staying in the house provided by your employer. So that house is vacant. You don't stay in the house. All right. If you stay in the house, then there is imputed rent. Okay. If you rent to another person, of course, that is already a rent. You know, that is a direct income. But it is neither. So therefore, that apartment, in terms of imputed rent or unrealized capital gain, okay, unrealized capital gain because what? Because at the end of the year, the market value has increased by 46,000 ringgit. So that is another capital gain from the value of the house. But in terms of the apartment itself, since it is vacant, okay, you are staying in another place and it is not rented, so nothing going. Okay, nothing going in terms of income from the services of that apartment. If it is rented, then you get a rental income. So probably I should have put a rent, you know, but it's okay. So if it is rented, then there is income. Okay. Now it is not. So there is no imputed rent or there is no rental income. The only source of income or the only income that you gain is the unrealized capital gain from the house. Okay. So unrealized capital gain from the apartment the value has gone up $46,000. So that is $46,000 your income. All right. So that will give you your total income. So boom, boom, boom. Okay, the few things that I did right. So the last one, okay, the last component, is it 5 or 6? Last component is unrealized capital gain. Again here, capital gain. This is the apartment. Okay, apartment increase in value. So
46,000.
46,000. So you got your total income. So that is the Hick-Simon income. Okay. All right. So whatever the total you get, that will be Hick-Simon income. So now we move on to the next part. So everybody do it? Got it? All right. So now what you do next is that we want to get the Malaysian income. All right. The Malaysian income so that we can get the taxable income. So part B, all right, part B, what you do here is, for part B, you take out or we compute the Malaysian comprehensive income, or we call it gross income, comprehensive income. So again here, based on, it will be based on number one, okay? Based on the Hick-Simon. Just we deduct a few things that we discussed earlier, okay? So if you look at the total here you have, number one, of course, that is income from work, all right? So number one, have you done part B?
Not yet, sir.
Okay,
Can
you do it now. Okay.
Can you give it?
I forgot. Okay, I forgot. I
Thank
thought
you.
you have done it. So what you do another list. Okay, based on part A, you do another list down the income that is included as in the Malaysian income tax. Okay. You done, Part B?
Yes, sir.
Anybody need more time? I'll give you 1 more minute. Okay, after this, we'll go through. Okay. Now, if you look at the Malaysian income tax, you will consider, correct, certain type of income are not considered as income. So there is a difference. You go by the numbers that we already do here, because Malaysian income tax, Malaysian income system will not be more than the excitement. Okay, excitement will be our benchmark, will be the highest. So number 1, the salary, of course, that will be included because that is income from labor. Now, number 2, unrealized capital gain from the shares, since it is not sold, okay, it is just on paper, it is not included. All right. So number 2 is out, take out. And then, so you only have 1. And then you look at next, the in-kind benefit for the house, for the apartment. Is it considered as income?
Not also.
Actually, it is. Okay, in-kind benefit from the apartment.
Yes, sir.
Will be included as income. So that in-kind income, okay, from the apartment will be included as income. So you have already the numbers, okay? So you put that into the Malaysian income. Now there is another in-kind income, which is the benefit, health benefit. So another in-kind income is the health benefit. That is also included as the income. Okay, all right. So he bought apartment and then market rental. So for that, nothing going. And then you have the increase in the value of the apartment by $46,000. So this part here, all right, is not included. Unrealized capital gain, unless you sell the house. Okay, you sell the house, then you get the profit. But here it's just on paper, regardless of the amount. It is not realized, then it is not considered as income. All right. So here, okay, this question, we'll just look at the sources of income. We don't look at the expenditure, because if you look at the expenditure, then I have to make the question longer, and then, but it's not just the type of income, okay? There will be some expenditures that will be deducted as our discussion earlier, all right? But we don't consider it now, lah. Okay, you got the value. Now, if you take out this value, you take out number 2. What is the total income for the Malaysian system?
63.
79.
You do
79,200.
3 ke berapa eh? So you get the total. Berapa tadi?
79,200.
79,200. Okay, now we go back to the excitement income. Excitement total berapa eh?
126,905.
126,905.
905.
You see the difference? Because here, this guy, Ahmad, has quite a significant amount of income unrealized. Okay, so if he want to get more income, sell the house, or sell the shares. So this is our income. We call it gross income. Now, assuming there is no deduction, of course, in reality, you got the deductions, all right? Deductions for yourself, for your family, healthcare, education, donation, things like that. So here we don't consider deduction. So we just say deduction is 0. So that taxable income would be just equal to the same amount, 79,200. Okay, finish? All right. So now we do part C. Now for the part C, based on that taxable income, 79,200, we compute how much tax you have to pay to the government. So we will use, ada tak dalam soalan tu tadi? Sekejap,
No, sir, I don't think there is any indication that we
Ada.
should use which part.
Ada.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So this is the one that we were discussing earlier. Okay, I ask you to put the bracket. Okay, the interval, they are the same. Sama tak? Sama kan? So now, okay, our taxable income is 72,000.
79,200.
200. So what you do here, that 79,200, you will have to break up into the brackets as per the table here until you reach the total amount, 79,200. All right. Okay. So I want you to try to do that. But I will show you how. Okay. I show you how to do it so that you can, because I haven't shown you how to do it. So this is how we do it. If you look at the total income, you have the table already, okay? So you have the total income, 79,200. So total income, I round here because, you know, I have from another page, 79,200 RM. So that is our taxable income, okay? So that is taxable income. All right. Now you break out the bracket. So you have the brackets here. You put the rate here, and then the tax that you have to pay. Okay. Now, first tax is up to 2,500. Zero, so zero. All right. Now, the next bracket, 2,500 up to 5,000. So now, how much income of the 79,200 belong to that bracket? How much income do you have in that bracket?
2,500.
5,000.
So it's not 5,000. Okay, 5,000. The first 2,500, you don't pay any tax. Okay, so it is not 5,000. It is only the amount of income that you have in that bracket. So you'll be 5,000 minus 2,500. Okay, so that will be equal to 2,500. All right, so 2,500, that is how much you have to pay. The tax, the rate is 1%. So the tax is 2,500 multiplied by 0.01. 1%, okay? 0.01, dapatlah berapa? Okay, so now you have already paid tax, okay? From the 2,000, from the total income that you earn, you already paid tax the first 5,000, okay? First 5,000 dah bayar dah. Okay, so that is how much you pay. 0 plus whatever you got here. Berapa dapat?
25.
25 ringgit.
25 ringgit.
25.
ringgit.
25 ringgit. Okay, so tax RM. So now you want to consider the next bracket. Next bracket is 5,000, from 5,000. Now the first 5,000 you already pay the tax. Okay, so we look at 5,000 to 20,000. That's the next bracket. So how much income do you have in that bracket?
15,000.
15,000. Okay. So the income that you have here is 15,000 because the first 5,000 you already paid. So here the amount of income is 220,000 minus 5,000. All right. So equal to 15,000. So that 15,000, I have to pay 3%. So you compute lah. Okay, 15,000 multiplied by 0.03 equal to whatever the amount. Okay, so I want to finish it up to that total taxable income. Okay, all right. So you do the next bracket, because by now, okay, how much income do you have in that bracket? You just subtract the upper value to the lower value.
So can we see the bracket table back?
Tadi saya suruh tulis, tak tulis tadi. I asked you to write. Remember, I asked you to write, 2,500 to 5,000, 5,000 to 20,000. Tak tulis tu. Okay? Tunggu. Okay. That's the reason I asked you to write the bracket, okay, in terms of the simplified form. So that easier to recognize. And then senang kan nak tolak subtract. Okay. All right. Now, do you need to okay? So you have already, the three interval. So here 15,000, 3%, 15,000 multiplied by 0.03, you got the number here. So sini berapa value? Anybody got this one?
450.
450.
450. So you do the next bracket. All right. So I will show you the bracket.
Sir, just want to ask a question. So for the last bracket, which is the 70,000 to 100. So the 70,000 we need to do we need to subtract it with 79,200 or just 100,000?
Our maximum income is how much? The total income that you have is how much?
79,000.
79,000. So if you subtract using 100,000, which is not your income, then you pay the government higher.
Okay.
Because that is 30,000. Our income is really how much? 79,200. So in that last bracket, we subtract the real income, okay? The actual income that you have, the maximum income that you have with that 70,000.
Okay.
So it's only in that bracket how much that we have? 9,200. Okay? You don't subtract from 100,000. Okay. That would be 30,000, 30,000 multiplied by 24%. That is a lot of money. So you overpay the government because our income is actually only 79,200. So for the highest bracket, it will be whatever balance that you have in that bracket. All right? So even maybe 1 ringgit, 20 ringgit, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, whatever. Okay? So it will be 79,200 minus 70,000. So you will get 9,200 kan? Okay, 9,200 multiplied by 24%. Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, if you are finished, because the last bracket is only 9,200, you compute it. So the total, all right, the total tax that we pay to the government will be the sum, okay? You put all the bracket up to the 70,000 to 100,000, that will be our last bracket lah, okay? And you have 79,200 minus 70,000. So the tax rate is 24%. So you got 9,000. 9,200. Okay, multiplied by 0.24, you got a number. So anybody has done it. What is the total tax? So the total tax, you add up all the bracket punya tax. Okay. So what is the total tax that you have to pay?
9483.
9483. So that is the total tax payable. So you can call it tax payable or tax paid. or tax payable. Now, everybody got 9483? So you just add up, okay? So if you have done, put down your name, put your biometric number, you send to me now, okay? So you can leave the class, the meeting now. Send to me. I already put that thing as a homework in the Zoom. Okay, so if you look at your classroom, I already have the comprehensive income homework. Okay, due today, due now. Okay, so you finish it up. Okay, I give you 5 or 10 minutes. Finish it up. Make sure if you do it wrong, that's okay. Okay, just make the correction on the side or below it, and I give you 5 points bonus. I know many people need that bonus point, so this is how you get the bonus. Okay, all right. So if you're finished, you can submit to me now. So if you have not finished, I give you a few more minutes. Okay. If you want to go back and see whatever I have done here, we can do that. Or if you just do it by yourself, that is also good. Okay. So I think I can stop now. Any question or any comment?
Sir, in the final exam, do we have to use this one also?
Now we talk about the final exam Wednesday. No, Thursday. Okay. The last class, I will discuss about the midterm, and I will also discuss about, some things about the final. Okay, we do it on Thursday. Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. So semua okay? All right. So now
Okay, sir.
I can stop the class because maybe another class is coming in. So we will continue
Thank you,
again
sir.
Thursday. So don't forget to submit. All right, please submit now. Okay. So if you need extra few minutes, that's fine, but don't take a day. Okay. The most I give you is 5 minutes because I already go through it and we already understand the concept. It's just that we do exercise. Okay. So in 5 minutes, I expect all these 44 students. Okay. 44 students who were here submit to me. For other students who don't come today, you don't have to submit.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. I will see you again.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. You take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.